All right, here we go. We are live. We're on Shelters by Jesus podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hitting subscribe. Thank you for hitting like, because that brings money into our podcast. And if you want to do more and you want to be a part of it, go to sheltersbyjesus.com. And for $9 a month, you will be taking people off the street. It's really exciting. Also, we have 4 books out written by the dumb hit from Skowhegan. That's me. And if you would like those, they have 2 prices. They're $10 or free. All you got to do is put your name and address on there, or call the office at 207-474-8833 and say, I like Pastor Barry's books. And you can have 1 or 4, all of them. And we will see to it that those are mailed out to you. We're super excited you're watching. Our numbers are going up, and we ask you to share it with your friends and family and churches and all of that, because every time you share, it helps. So if you want a tour of our place, dial the office 207-474-8833 and say, I'd like a tour. And Seth Roberts, our chief of staff, will take you around. On Saturday nights, we have live service, live music at 5:30, and I preach at 6 o'clock, streaming, if you've been watching me. If you're in town in Skowhegan, we're at 12 McClellan Street. We would love to have you come in live. We've been getting a lot of more non-residents. We're one of the only churches I know that has residents and non-residents, and we'd invite you. And today actually, it's not nighttime, it's near enough. We are continuing a series that I mentioned I was going to do a series of widows from the church whose husbands were really involved in this ministry. And actually, this is the 3rd one in the series. You saw Barbara Neubauer, then it's Faye Brewer. There was Jake Neubauer and Ron Brewer, and now today we have a lady from Strong, Vickie Burden, whose husband Bill served on my board. He was a board member and an unbelievable nice guy.
Yeah.
And you guys, let's talk about that. How long were you married?
55 years.
55 years. And you were not too old when you got married, though.
No, I was 19.
19. Okay, you started dating him at 16 or something, though, right?
No, I was 18.
18? I thought it was 16.
No.
Well, see, I'm old.
Yeah, I know you are.
You know,
I
have an excuse, honey.
Okay.
And your background is you were raised
in the Shaker Village.
And you're the only person I ever met that was raised in a Shaker Village. And because of that, you have a side business.
Yes, I do.
You are a
quilter.
A major quilter.
Yes, I am.
You do Shaker quilts.
Yes, I do.
And we're not in your quilting area. We show some of your quilts, but they're
packed away.
Yeah, you do some incredible work, though.
Thank you.
And you do craft fairs.
Yes, I do.
And so those are things you do take up your time.
Yes.
And you were raising goats.
Yes, I was.
So, and you're not the goat lady anymore because you're out of goats.
No, I'm not.
So, other than the quilting, that you don't do a whole lot of stuff other than that, or do you? What are you up to these days?
Oh, no, I don't. I've taken up something called diamond painting, which is similar to counted cross stitch, only using beads. And you make pictures with it.
Make pictures with beads.
Yep. Very intricate, very small.
You like doing that?
Yeah, I do. I always like counted cross stitch, but my eyes are getting to the point where it's hard to see the small blocks. So,
I wouldn't say you're old, but you're old.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I know I am.
I can say that because I'm old. Now, Bill was super beloved by not just you, but everybody. I mean, yes, I didn't know anybody that didn't love Bill.
No.
And he was special to the board. You guys together, you had a real love for the shelter.
Yes, we did. We absolutely did. Yep.
Bill was 150% in on it.
Oh, yeah.
And we sure enjoyed having him. I know that. He was very special. He was come on as a board member, and he was a very special board member. One thing about it, he always had me at heart. It was like he was always telling me, we got to work him less. We got to work him less. And I go, preach it, Bill. Preach it, Bill. But he was a joy. So I'm going to ask you, you don't have to answer one, but I asked the same question that I asked the other widows is, what is life like now? What do you do? How do you handle being a widow? That's a tough question, I know.
It's very lonely.
That's an honest answer.
You have to learn and accept that's the way it's going to be and learn to adjust to it. And it's a hard adjustment to make. I don't go out much anymore. I
Okay.
stay pretty close to home. Just don't feel like it.
And you have a big home
Yes, I do. Too big for now.
for one person.
Yes, it is. Way too big.
And at this time, you actually have your because you live. This is the way you can see it. All you can see is you and I. But this is a farmhouse,
Yes.
and it's you have barns and acreage. This is a big place.
Yes.
Around. It covers a lot of ground.
Yes, it does.
And you have a lot of outbuildings and all of that. And that's a lot for one person to take care of.
Yeah. No, I can't take care of it. You know, and Bill and I always took great pride in keeping our home and our yard and everything up. So,
Oh, I drive in and everything was always mowed up and it was always
Yes.
meticulous.
yes,
And his garage and stuff.
always.
Wow, if people kept the houses that good, that'd be something because it was meticulous.
It was.
So he was very meticulous about the stuff that he did.
Oh, very,
And
very.
another thing he did, he used to do redoing John Deere tractors, correct?
He was restoring John Deere tractors, and he would restore another tractor, another kind, if somebody brought it in. He did a beautiful old farm mall
Oh, really?
that is local. Actually, it's up on Herrick Mountain Road, and yeah, he's done quite a few actually.
Well, I saw some of the John Deere's he did, and it looked like they come right off the factory. I mean,
Yes,
wow. And I'm sure that they probably were a bunch of rust buckets when he started.
some were, yeah, some were, but he just really got into it, and you know that's where he would spend his days when he was retired.
Yeah. Well, he told me the joy he had. He enjoyed working on them. It was
Yes, he
like,
did.
it wasn't like, it was a side job, kind of, but he didn't see it as a job. That was kind of his getaway, right?
Right. Well, that's like my quilting. It's not a job.
It would be for me.
I don't think you could quite handle
I
it.
don't think so,
don't
honey.
think so.
I'll tell you that right now.
Yes, and anything he did had forethought to it. Anything he did, if you took a tool out of his toolbox, you'd better have wiped it down and put it back right. And he always knew.
You've got to respect that. I love that about the guy.
Always knew. He had rows and rows of boxes with the names of the tractors that the parts went to.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
There were three complete rows of probably 10 or 12 boxes across.
Wow.
That's just the way he was. He grew up on a farm and working for farmers, and farmers are the type of people that you don't throw anything away.
No, that exactly. Baling twine is used to tie stuff together.
Yes.
Used to have baling wire. Used to use that to hold equipment together.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to ask you a question totally off the subject. What was it like being raised as a shaker? Because very few people know what it would be like to live as a shaker. I know I would. I got no idea what it would be like to live in a shaker village. What is it like?
Well, I was very young when I went there.
How young?
I was 5.
That's young.
And we went to public school.
So they did, okay, I thought Shakers had their own school.
They did, but the year I went there or the year after, they had closed it. They had to close it because they didn't have enough
so
children.
you didn't go to Shaker school?
No, I went to public school.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I figured you said you was raised Shaker, you had to go to Shaker school.
We were. I mean, other than going to public school, our days were laid out every day perfectly. And
that's what I was going to
had
ask
a
you.
routine.
What's a day? What's a normal day like at a Shaker place?
We would get up in the morning, get dressed, make our beds, go have breakfast, say our prayers for breakfast. We were not allowed to talk at the table.
No.
Everything was very quiet. When we finished our breakfast, we went back out to the house, made sure everything was all set, got our school books, and took the bus to school. When we got home from school, we had an hour of work, which
You had a particular job.
We had different jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah. And we would learn as we got older, we would learn a different type of job. In the beginning, it might have been carding wool.
Oh,
Then once you did that, it might have been learning to knit. We knitted sweaters and bonnets for dolls, and the Shakers sold them in their shop.
okay. Well, yeah, they used to do a lot of sales.
Yes, and they would go out, like they go up to the White Mountains.
Really?
And, yes.
Wow.
And then we made jump ropes for the kids and sold them.
You
And
made jump ropes. How do you make a jump rope?
It was so neat. It was, you take a piece of rope,
Yep.
and there's this pattern, and it's cut out straight up around, and there's a beak. And then it's down around and sewed. And you hold it where the beak is, right under there. And it's made out of fabric, stitched. And they were fun.
I never heard of anybody that made a jump rope before. So, and that's where you learned your quilting.
I did not.
You
I
didn't?
I learned to sew there.
Oh, okay.
I only learned to sew there. I eventually got to the point where I was making aprons to sell.
Okay.
And
so how did you happen to start the quilting business?
when Bill got sick, he couldn't work.
Yep.
He had to give up his sawmill. And I can't sit alone home, not do anything.
I
just
understand
can't.
that.
Not my nature. So I decided, I had always wanted to learn to quilt, and I decided, well, now's the time to do it. So I started doing it here in the house, and I taught myself, and gradually I got better at it, and we fixed up the barn out there so that I had a display room, a work room, and a small office. And then I started selling from there. And things kind of quieted down, so somebody suggested I start doing trade shows. So I did, and I love doing them.
And you sell them as shaker quilts?
Nope, I just sell them as quilts.
Okay.
Shaker Girl. Shaker
Girl quilts. Okay, because I know your shine has shaker on it.
Yes.
That's why I thought you learned it as a shaker. I didn't realize that this was, you got your skills there, but you didn't do the actual quilting.
Right. They quilted, and I don't know when. I never saw it.
Okay.
It might have been, when they had more sisters and brothers.
Now, when they made the quilts, did they do them by hand or with sewing machine?
By hand.
That's what I thought. That's why they're so expensive.
Yeah, they're by hand.
Now, if somebody's interested in learning about your quilts, maybe even purchasing one, how can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me online at Shaker Girl Quilts, at shakergirlquilts@gmail.com.
Okay, Shaker Girl Quilts
at gmail.com.
gmail.com. So if you're watching this and you want to learn about it, go to shakergirlquilts@gmail.com.
Yes.
And you want to give out a phone number?
Sure.
What's your phone number?
207-446-6874.
All right. So you can call Vickie.
Yes.
And right now she's got her place up for sale, so all the stuff's packed away, so we can't. Otherwise, I was going to take you out and show you the quilts and all of that, but she's in the moving stage. But now would be a good time to.
I have one.
You have one? All right. You want to bring it over here? We won't be well. We'll just hold it right there. So we'll have her bring one over and show us what she does. I'll take one end, and you take an end, and.
This is a Christmas one.
Oh, wow. That is beautiful. Okay, so what does a quilt like this go for?
This will probably go for about $225.
Okay, there you go. So if you want a Shaker Girl quilt, now do you do special ones like somebody special ordered?
Oh, yes.
So say like a horse person says, I want a horse quilt?
Yes, I've done one.
You've done one?
I did one, yes.
So if you want a quilt, you can get a hold of Vickie. If you want to have one made up, let her know what you want. If you're into something special, she was into goats. If you're into goats, cows, dogs, cats, horses, she'll find it. She'll do it. Yeah. So one of the last things I want to say is, what did you and Bill think of the homeless ministry? Why did you find it something worthwhile to be a part of?
Number one, the way it started. Okay. It was absolutely fascinating and amazing to us that you were able to start and provide a place without a lot of help. It was all donation. People were interested in helping. And that was the first thing.
Yep.
And then we saw what you were trying to do by teaching them, taking them off of the streets, teaching them, helping them to give up whatever bad habits they had.
Yep.
Learn how to do something, whether it was working in the kitchen or washing a floor or whatever. And then they were able to leave when they felt they could accomplish.
And they could function.
Outside.
Yep.
Most shelters will only take people in for the day. And your shelter kept them 24/7.
Yeah, most of them take them at night. They kick them out days.
Yes.
Yeah,
they would.
Yeah, most of them you're a number. You may have a bed, or may not, but so that's why you guys decided if we're going to back something, we're going to back. This is what we want to back.
Yes, and we absolutely adore you and Selma. You know that.
We appreciate that. Now, if you was closer, you could help her teach sewing.
Oh, I would.
Quilting, because one of our classes is sewing, and one of the guys just made a quilt.
Good.
It definitely won't get confused with yours, but
no,
but it come out, and he is so proud of it. And I go, now you can do girl talk.
Good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
I don't do girl talk, so I didn't get into it. But anyway, we got a couple guys that are learning to sew and doing quilts.
I'll tell you what, I've seen some of the quilts that men do.
Oh, really?
And there are a lot of men that quilt.
I did not know that.
They can put some women to shame.
Really?
They make beautiful quilts.
Really?
Yes, they do.
Well, we got that class. We're doing classes now. This is something brand new. So we teach sewing. We teach cooking. You can get a certificate, Serve Safe certificate.
Oh.
We're teaching. We got a master electrician teaching electricity. We're teaching carpentry. We're teaching plumbing, and we're teaching computer at this time. So we got those going on. I did a podcast on those.
Oh, that's
and
great.
Marilyn here, who's behind the camera, she is a sewing teacher, and her quilt. She's very good.
Oh, I'm sure.
And we're so blessed. And so anyway, God is blessed. But I appreciate you coming on and sharing all this with us.
Oh, I'm very happy.
And we all wish that Bill and Ron and Jake were still here, because they were more than a part of it. They were the heart of it, and they're all missed. And so this has been great being able to talk with their widows. I'm sure they'd be tickled to know that you guys are on doing a podcast and people are hearing about them and about you. And I want to thank you for all the contributions that you guys have all made to this. And your hearts for it is special.
Yeah.
So thank you for being on it, Vickie. Thank you for being a friend too. And I just want you to know, guys, you can keep watching. You can support us. You heard why Vickie and Bill came on. Whatever reasons you come up with, it'd be your reasons. But if you want to support us, remember, go to sheltersbyjesus.com. $9 stays people off the street. $9 gives them a chance to get their lives squared away. And you've been seeing our residents. We've done residents and staff. Now we're doing widows. And the other thing is, I travel and speak. If your church, your organization like to have me come and share, love to do that. We share the word and share about the ministry. And I lost my train of thought. Yeah, if you've got a ministry that we can do a podcast with, we'd love to come and do that too. We've been doing some food pantries and different stuff. And if you're doing something for Jesus and you go, I wish somebody knew about what we're doing. Nobody knows. Well, we love coming and showing the glory of God. It's not just about Shelters by Jesus. We want to shine a light on everything that Jesus is doing with every organization. And it's an honor and a blessing. So we say we have podcasts, we'll travel. We traveled to Vickie's place today, and it's been exciting to be here in her home. So anyway, until the next one, all I got to say is you all come back now here.